Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today we're going to be talking about one of the most really interesting, and not only interesting, but very weird, because not a lot of information or details have really been talked about some of the Andrew Luck news that has been recently reported, that Andrew Luck could potentially be coming back to the NFL, which at the same time as the Washington Commanders have interest in Andrew Luck, it seems like their interest in him might just be a shot, and they might not get what they want. Especially with it seeming like Sam Howell is their quarterback one, and also have Jacoby Brissett as the QB2. As much as I think Andrew Luck would be an upgrade over both of those guys, which I think it's too late to say a guy who hasn't played since 2018 will be better than this young kid in Sam Howell, who has looked pretty decent, and his preseason and training camp action and his one start against the Cowboys, where I think they beat them like 23-10 or something, and he played really good and has impressed the Commanders and is being viewed as the QB1 going into training camp, going into OTAs. So to me, it doesn't make sense. Apparently, Jim Irsay, owner, is hints at potential them trying to sue for or tampering or whatever with the Commanders, because even though Luck is retired, the Colts still own his rights, just like Gronk. Gronk was retired when he left the Patriots, but when he came out of retirement to join Tom Brady in Tampa, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had to trade for Gronk. And I know I've heard a lot of people saying, okay, Andrew Luck is worth like a first-round pick, that's not even close. In this case, I think Luck would be worth around a fourth or fifth-round pick. You haven't seen him play since 2018. This is just talking if he is considering coming back from football, which I honestly, in my opinion, don't think he is. He's 33 years old. He hasn't played since 2018. My bet would be he hasn't, been, working out, and I could be wrong, but I think he's been trying to focus his time with his family. And I think he's been coaching as well. So I don't think he's going to be in NFL form whatsoever. I think I think if you wanted to see if Andrew Luck wanted to come out of retirement, he would have done it already. And as much as I think there's a possibility of the Commanders making their try for it, which they're the team that is going to be most interested in trying to get Luck out of retirement. I think that, and apparently they tried to contact Andrew Luck in 2022, so this was last season. So that to me right there, it's like I don't think that to me, I don't think that even though Andrew is a good quarterback, and probably I'm saying media, if he came back out of retirement, they'd say, oh, Andrew's a top 10 quarterback, which in my opinion, if Andrew came back to retirement, I would not have him as a top 10 quarterback. I would have Andrew's old self as a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, but there's no saying in what Andrew would, look like going back into the NFL. But even though it's just a matter of maybe a year since the Colts, or since the Commanders tried to contact Andrew Luck, a lot has changed in this last year, or whenever they reached out. I'm assuming when they reached out in 2022, if they reached out in 2022, Jacoby Brissett was not on the roster yet. 2022, Sam Howell, they weren't as confident in Sam Howell. And I'm not sure when they reached out in 2022. Did they reach out in the offseason in 2022? Did they reach out before the season? But if they reached out in 2022, they didn't know what they had in Sam Howell yet. I'm assuming they reached out to Andrew Luck before they even traded for Carson Wentz. That would be my bet. And then they didn't get any word about it from Andrew Luck, or said no. And then basically from then, traded for Carson Wentz. That would be my bet. What happened in 2022 when the Commanders contacted Andrew Luck But to basically wrap this up, I think Andrew Luck is going to stay in retirement. As fun as it would be to see him come out, and I remember like it was yesterday. I remember in 2018 or 2019 when he retired. I was actually it was because he retired in preseason. It was so shocking. I I was at I live in Houston with being a Texans fan, and my dad took me to Dallas because the Texans played their preseason one of their preseason finale games at Dallas. So we went to Dallas. We went to the game. We had some connections in Dallas, so we got some good seats. And then next thing I know, there were some football fans in the suite with us, and oh my God, breaking news, Andrew Luck is retired. I'm like, what? It was so shocking to me at that, Cowboys-Texans game, and I just remember the moment. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it at all. I didn't think, I think, did I can't remember if I found out in the suite or if I found out, like, leaving the game and someone was talking about it, but I couldn't believe it. I thought whoever told me that was lying to me, but then I looked it up, and he retired, and that was a long time. That was 2019. I believe that was 2019, and I don't think Andrew Luck is coming out of retirement. I think it would be awesome. I think as much as people say, okay, well, Andrew Luck, he hasn't played since 2019 or 2018. He wouldn't be that good coming back. My bet is that even though Luck, if you got him in right back, if you got him in the form, you got him. I think you give it 2 months, him practicing back with the NFL team. I think he can be the same court. He might be a little bit less better because it's been a couple years, but I think he could. I think he could be an NFL starting quarterback. And do I think he's going to be? No, I think he's going to stay retired. I don't think he has any. I don't think he has any intent to come out of retirement. But the Commanders, they took their shot for it, and it's going to be interesting to see if he were to come out of retirement. I doubt it. I really doubt it, but it would be really interesting if he did. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoy. Let me know your thoughts, and peace out.